Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam overview class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksharo Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajata सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे हरे
Hare
राम
Rama, Hare
राम
Rama,
राम
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone to our Srimad Bhagavatam overview class. We are discussing from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And last time we discussed the wonderful pastime of Brahma Vimohan Leela, how Brahmaji, when he heard that a small child, he killed Aghasur. And then when he came to see, he saw that this extraordinary child was playing like an ordinary child with all his friends. So all this bewildered Brahma, and he wanted to test, is this the same Supreme Lord? And therefore he stole the calves and the cowherd boys. And Krishna, when he saw that, oh, Brahma has done it, he expanded himself into calves, cowherd boys, stake, bugle, horn, flute, everything. Yavat vatsakalpakavapu, yavat karangrayadikam. Everything, he became everything. Sarvam Vishnumayam. So, and then when Brahma he returned, and in this way, for 1 year he was, giving pleasure of affection and love to all the Brajvasis, all the gopis and the gopas and even cows. And at the end of 1 year, just 5 days, 5 or 6 days before, Balram he understood this because Krishna wanted to reveal it to Brahma, and therefore Balram reveal it to Balram. So therefore, Balram could understand that how is it that the cows are attracted to the elder calves, and the gopas, they are so very attracted to their sons. And then he could see with his vision that, oh, it is Krishna who has expanded into all these children, all these cowherd boys and the calves. And Brahmaji, when he returned in a moment because he was already anxious, because he knew that he is playing with fire. Immediately in one moment he came back, but here 1 year had passed, and therefore Brahma, when he returned, he saw that all the uh, calves and the cows and the calves which he had kept, they are still here, and that's how he got completely bewildered. And then Krishna, he manifested all the Vishnu Murtis, all the cows and the cowherd boys, they became Vishnu Murtis. And then ultimately Brahmaji understood that it is the Supreme Lord. I was trying to show my powers in front of the Supreme Lord. But just like the power of an inferior person does not work against a superior, more powerful personality, Brahma understood this. that Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead, my worshipable Father, my Lord. So he came down, came down of his swan carrier, offered full obeisances in front of the Lord, and with a humble, and he was crying tears, and with his humble voice he started glorifying. He offered beautiful, beautiful prayers that we'll be discussing today. So now 13th chapter was the last chapter which was uh, written by Srila Prabhupada, the purports and the translations. So 13th chapter was the last chapter which Prabhupada personally wrote in this Bhagavatam. And after this, from 14th chapter onwards, the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they have given wonderful purports following in the parampara of Srila Prabhupada. So now, Brahmaji starts offering beautiful prayers. In the first prayer, he described the beauty of the Lord. Naumedyate abrvapushe tadidambaraya gunjavatamsha paripicchala sanmukhaya वन्यास्रजे कवलवेत्रजुषाणवेणुं लक्ष्मश्रिये मृदुपदे पशुपाङ्गजाय Naumi idyate. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the most worshipable personality, Krishna. Abhravapushe, he had a very effulgent, transcendental body. He's wearing a yellow garment, very shining, effulgent garment, brilliant like lightning. What else he's wearing? Gunjavatam Shaparipich. He's wearing a gunjamala. He has a peacock feather on his head. Lasan Mukhaya. And the beauty of his face is enhanced by all these things. What else is there? Vanya Sraje. So as we discussed that when the cowherd boys, they would come to the forest, they would go to the forest, all the mothers, they would also decorate them very nicely with all the gunjamala and the pearls and golden ornaments. But the cowherd boys, they would again decorate themselves with the flowers, fruits, leaves, minerals. So Brahmaji is saying, Vanya Sraje Kavala Vetra Jushana Venum. He's seeing Krishna holding Kavala, yogurt and rice. Vetra, Vetra means the cow herding stick. Venu, flute, bugle horn. Lakshma Shriye Mridupade Pashupangajaya. And who is this Krishna? He is, although the son of the cowherd man, but he is the supreme Lord. He is the Lord of Lakshmi Devi. And therefore, the beauty of the lotus feet now Brahma is seeing. And then, when Brahma starts glorifying all these wonderful prayers, Krishna may be thinking, but oh Brahma, Krishna is objecting, Chakravarti Thakur writes, Krishna may object, oh Brahma, you are the master of all the mystic powers, and I am a son of a cowherd man. You are most ancient and exalted, and I am just a young, small boy. You are the controller of the entire universe. You are the knowledgeable of all the Vedas. I am an ignorant boy. I am the ignorant keeper of the cows. And you are controller of all the illusory things. And what am I doing? I am bewildered by your illusion. So Brahma is expecting this reply from Krishna. So therefore he says, O Supreme Lord, there is nobody in this world who can estimate your potency. Your potency is unlimited. It is described in Bhagavatam that Shesha is glorifying the Lord from the beginning of the creation, but still he has not come to an end. And who am I? How can I understand what is the happiness you are experiencing? My mind is controlled, but still I am not able to understand you. How can others understand? Therefore, only by your mercy I can understand. I am seeing your form. So Brahmaji is giving 5 objections here. He's saying that I cannot understand the greatness of your body, which when this body is appearing as a child, I am not able to understand. Then what to speak of your Paugand pastimes, or Kaumar pastimes, or Kaishore pastimes? I cannot understand. I cannot understand the Kaishore. Kaishore means the after, Pauganda, it is Kaishore, young. So he's saying, I'm not able to understand the childhood pastimes. How will I understand the Kaishore pastimes? I cannot understand the greatness of your body. What to speak of the greatness of your happiness which you are experiencing in the mind? What to speak of understanding your mind? I am controlled in my mind, but still I cannot understand. How can others understand? Therefore, only by your mercy it is possible. That Brahmaji will say in one of the further future verses. Only by the mercy of the Lord somebody can understand him. Otherwise, nobody can understand the Supreme Lord. And Lord shows mercy only when the devotees show mercy. So therefore, in our lives, devotees are very, very crucial. So this theme of taking shelter of devotees come again and again in Bhagavatam. Nobody can say, I can reach Krishna on my own. I can please Krishna on my own. I don't need any devotee in my life. All the great devotees who are there in Bhagavatam, even when Lord is appearing in front of them, they are praying, oh my Lord, please give me the association of your devotees. Parikshit Maharaj himself said in the first canto, Dhruv Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj he prayed, Bhaktim moho pravahtam tvai me prasango bhuyadanant mahatam amalashayanam. Bhaktim muhu pravahatam. Please give me association of your devotees, O my Lord. So therefore, devotees, they play a very crucial role. So Brahmaji is praying that only by your mercy I can understand you. How will I get your mercy? By the mercy of your devotees. So devotees are very, very important. Then somebody may say, but you know, only by knowing Brahman one can surpass the material world. Unless somebody has knowledge, somebody is knowledgeable, he cannot cross this ocean of material existence. How can an ignorant person who does not know how to, read all the scriptures, how to analyze scriptures, how will they attain success? How will they cross this ocean of material existence? Brahmaji prays. Brahmaji tells, actually, our knowledge does not matter. Jnane prayasamudapasya namanta eva जीवन्ति सन्मुखरितां भवदीयवार्ता स्थाने स्थिता श्रुतिगतां तनुवान् मनोभे ये प्रायशो अजितजितोऽपि अपितैस्त्रिलोक्याम्. Very famous verse. Prabhupada would quote this many times. Jnane prayasam udapasya. Those who throw away the process of philosophical speculation or, acquiring knowledge. One who gives up this process of speculative knowledge, Jivanti Sanmukharitam, and they have dedicated their lives for what? Bhavadiya Varta. They have dedicated their lives for hearing your pastimes, O my Lord. These pastimes, they are vibrated by your pure devotees. So again and again, Brahmaji is telling that association of devotees is very, very important. When we hear from devotees, then we can advance in Krishna consciousness. Sthane sthita shruti gatam tanuvan manobhir. Wherever one may be, even while remaining in a householder life, even if somebody has to follow all the social customs, varnashram systems, Tanu Van Manobhir, with his body, with his words, with his mind. One should offer respects to the descriptions of your personality, Brahmaji is saying. But how to offer respects to the description of the Lord's form, pastimes? By submissively hearing them. When we hear the pastimes of the Lord, we are offering respects to them. And what will happen by this? Ye prayasho ajita jitopi ajita. Krishna is ajita. Unconquerable. The unconquerable is conquered by this. Otherwise, nobody can conquer in the whole world, all the three worlds, nobody can conquer Krishna. So therefore, Brahmaji is saying, you are not conquered by jnana. Even one portion of the topics of your topics, one portion of your topics, that is knowledge of Brahman. And just by hearing about your topics, one can cross the samsara. So therefore, devotees, they are not interested in acquiring more and more knowledge. What is that knowledge? There are three types of knowledge. Atma Gyan, Ishvara Gyan, Kevala Gyan. Atma Gyan means the knowledge of the soul. Ishwar Gyan means knowledge of Bhagavan. And Kevala Gyan means knowledge of impersonal Brahman. So devotees, they are not interested in acquiring knowledge of impersonal Brahman. They remain in places where the devotees are discussing Harikatha. And therefore they respect the topics of the Lord with their mind, words and body. Chakravarti Thakur writes, how to offer respects in these ways? When somebody is hearing, one should be very respectful with folded hands. In a submissive attitude, one should hear. How to respect with words? By speaking in agreement. Oh, yes, all these topics are amazing. How to respect with the mind? By maintaining faith in these pastimes. When we hear these topics with faith, that is how we are respecting these topics with the mind. In this way, devotees, they pass their life. Jivanti. In this way, they pass their life. And then Chakravarti Thakur writes that actually Krishna, he also reciprocates with this attitude of devotee. He also reciprocates with his body, mind and words. With his body, he stays near the devotees. With his words, he glorifies the devotees. With his mind, he always thinks of his devotees. That is how Lord reciprocates. And this theme, mood of the Lord is described again and again in Bhagavatam. How Lord always thinks of his devotees, glorifies his devotees, is ready to protect his devotees, as we see in the Jamil pastime. We see in the pastime of Durvasa Muni Ambrish Maharaj, how Lord glorified Ambrish Maharaj. So therefore, Brahmaji is saying, sincere devotee can attain the Lord just by dedicating his mind, body and words to Harikatha. And then he says, those who reject bhakti and they take to other paths, they experience only troubles. Shreya sritim bhakti mudasyate vibho klishyanti eke valabodha labdhaye tesham asau kleshala eva shishyate nanyat yatha sthula tushavaghatinam. So he's saying, Shreya, O my dear Lord, devotional service unto you is the best path. Shreya. It is the best path of self-realization. There is no need to go anywhere. That's what Prabhupada would say many times. Only thing you should know is, I have not come to cheat you. This is the best path. One devotee, one Srila Prabhupada disciple, he spent his life serving Prabhupada, and in the last days, he was on his bed. And he was practically, in unconscious state. Just a few moments before his death, he got up and he opened his eyes and said, Prabhupada has not cheated us. And again he, lied down, left his body. This Krishna consciousness is the best path of spiritual realization. But somebody who leaves this path and goes to other paths, klishyantiye kevala bodha labdhaye. What is their gain? klishyanti. The path of impersonal realization is very troublesome. And in the end also, tesham ashau kleshala eva shishyate. In the end also, what they gain is only trouble. They don't gain anything substantial. It is as if somebody is beating the empty husks of grain. By beating the empty husks of grain, he will not get anything. What he will gain is just waste of labor. That's all. So Prabhupada writes, loving service to the Supreme Lord is the eternal function of every living entity. Eternal and natural function. So if a person renounces this eternal and natural function and tries to develop this impersonal knowledge, he will not be happy. So therefore, the process which we have got is the supremost process. And therefore, we have to try our best to take this process to our heart. And then in next verse, Brahmaji describes that bhakti is the only way to attain the Lord. And so in the previous two verses, it was described how bhakti is the ultimate. How to perform this bhakti, that he will describe in the next verse. पुरेह भूमन् बहवोऽप्ययोगिनस् त्वदर्पितेहा निज कर्म लब्धया विबुध्य भक्त्यैव कथोपनीतया प्रपेदिरोऽज्ञे अच्युत ते गतिं पराम्. So he's saying, oh my Lord, in the past, many yogis in this world, they have achieved the platform of devotional service. Tvadarpiteha nij karma labdhaya. They have attained your devotional service. How? By hearing and chanting your pastimes. Just by the process of hearing and chanting, one can attain the perfectional stage of life. And they have come to understand you after hearing your pastimes, after speaking your pastimes. Now they have understood you. So therefore, the process is simple, but it is not easy. Simple, why? Simple, we have to chant just our Hare Krishna mantra, 16 rounds minimum, follow the 4 regulative principles, be with devotees, but difficult because we have to do it every day with greater and greater enthusiasm. That is a difficult thing. So Brahmaji says, non-devotees, at the maximum, what is their gain? They attain the impersonal Brahman. That also by purifying their mind a lot. But they cannot realize your personal feature. They cannot realize Bhagavan. What is the gain? But by the process of prema, by the process of devotional service, one can understand Bhagavan feature. Otherwise, nobody can understand the qualities of the Lord. He gives 3 examples. Gunatmanaste api gunan vimatum hitavatirnasya kaishirasya Kalena yairvai vimita sukalpai bhupam savakhe mihika dvibhasya. Again, very beautiful verse is saying. Gunatmana, oh my Lord, you are the abode of all the wonderful spiritual qualities. And many learned men, they may be able to count in future Bhupam Savaha, Khe Mihika, and Dubhasya. Supreme Lord, you are the abode of all the spiritual qualities. You have appeared in this world for the benefit of others. Nobody can count your qualities. Even in due course of time, somebody may count the grains of the sand, the snowflakes, and the rays of the sun. Even if somebody can count this, but still they cannot count your glories. And in fact, Chakravarti Thakur writes that Lord Sankarshan have already counted. Somebody may say, how is this possible? Who can count these? He's saying Lord Sankarshan has already counted. He has counted the grains of sands. He has counted the snowflakes. He has counted the sun rays. But still, Since the beginning of the creation, he is trying to count the qualities of the Lord. Still, he has not come to end. He is glorifying with his thousands of mouths. Nantam vedamyahamami munyograjaste maya balasya purushasya kuto varaye gayan gunan dashashatanan adi deva seshodhunapi samavastanasya param na antam vidami. There is no end to the qualities of the Lord. Sankarshan is counting, glorifying since the beginning of creation. He has not come to an end. What to speak of Lord? What to speak of Sankarshan? Even Lord cannot count his own qualities. You know, that is the wonderful nature of the Lord. Even he cannot count his qualities. And in the 11th canto, Drumila, we discussed the discussion between the Navayogendras and Nimi Maharaj. One of the Navayogendra was Drumila. He says, somebody may count the grains of the sand, but if somebody tries to count the qualities of the Lord, he is a fool. He has a childish intelligence because nobody can understand the qualities of the Lord. And therefore, Lord appeared with all his wonderful unlimited qualities just to show mercy, just for the benefit of living entities. That is the only meditation of the Lord. How to benefit the living entities, how to bring them close to me. Maharoro haite korile tomara uddhara kripar samudra Krishna gambhir apar. Kripar samudra Krishna gambhir apar. Krishna is the ocean of mercy and compassion. Gambhir, very grave. Prabhupada writes in the purport in Chaitanya Charitamrita this verse. Krishna is working very gravely to bring the living entities back to him. And then Brahmaji continues. After rejecting all the other processes, establishing that the devotional service, bhakti is a supreme, how to practice this bhakti? What should be the mood and attitude of the devotees? Very, very famous verse. Tatte susamikshmano bhunjanu evatmakritam vipakam ridvagvapurvir vidhan namaste jivet mukti pade sadaya bhak. Tatte anukampa, when a devotee, he undergoes some troubles in his life, what should be his attitude? Tatte anukampa. This is the extreme mercy of you, O my Lord. Su samiksha mana. Iksha means to see. Samiksha means to perfectly see. Su samiksha. Perfectly seeing. After most perfectly seeing, somebody understands this. Bhunjanu eva atmakritam vipakam. The devotee understands that actually I was about to suffer much more. But because I have come to your lotus feet, O my Lord, by your mercy, all my seeds of sinful reactions, they are roasted. Bhunjana. And when the seeds are roasted and put in the ground, they don't grow. So that is the mercy of the Lord. Bhunjanu evatma. And whatever little is remaining, a devotee tolerates that. And what does he do? Ridvagva purbhir vidhan namaste. He offers his respectful obeisances with his mind, with his words, with his body, with his heart. If somebody has this consciousness, jivet mukti pade sadaya bhak. Even living in this body, he becomes the rightful claimer of liberation. Chakravarti Thakur gives an example. Just like a son, what he has to do to get the property of his father, he has to just stay alive. That's it. Similarly, we have to just stay alive in Krishna consciousness. Just keep following the principles of devotional service day in and day out, day after day, year after year, decade after decade. That's all we have to do. Just stay alive in Krishna consciousness. And Jivetayo Mukti Pade, he'll become the rightful claimer of liberation. Daya Bhak. Daya Bhak means recipient. He becomes the recipient of two results. First is the liberation from the material bondage, and second, he gets the service to the Lord. Mukti Pade. Mukti Pade means service to the Lord's lotus feet. And he gives another example. Just like the father sometimes gives sweet mango juice to the child, sometimes gives neem juice so that the child may get cured of the disease. Sometimes he may embrace the child, sometimes kiss the child, sometimes he may beat the child. Similarly, the Lord also. Sometimes he gives some reaction so that the child understands. He does not complain. Purport, it is described that, Susamikshamana means a devotee earnestly awaits the mercy of the Lord. He never demands, I want Krishna Prem now. We cannot demand it. He waits for the mercy. He has full faith in the protection of Krishna. Avashya Rakshibe Krishna iti Vishwasapalan. Krishna will protect me always. And in this consciousness, he gets purified. What is the mentality of a devotee? A devotee, actually, he's already pure. But in his mind, the devotee may have some inclination towards material sense enjoyment. So Lord, he detects these enjoying mentalities and he purifies those mentalities by giving some punishment, by giving some distress. And devotee, he understands and accepts this as a purification, as a mercy of the Lord. And this unhappiness which a devotee undergoes and suffers, it is not a karmic reaction. It is a mercy of the Lord. Because as soon as one starts practicing devotional service, it becomes very, very serious. Krishna purifies the, sinful reactions, but the enjoying mentality which is still there, Krishna wants to purify that also. And therefore, Krishna gives some additional troubles, additional sufferings. And such a sincere devotee, he accepts these sufferings as a mercy, as the mercy of the Lord. And he keeps serving the Lord. In this way, he becomes the rightful claimer of liberation. And then after, speaking this, Brahma, he expresses his repentance. He said, just see my uncivilized impudence. You are the Supreme Lord. You are the one who bewilders the bewilderers. Mainim. You are the bewilderer of the bewilderers. And I tried to use my energy, my power to bewilder you. It is just like a small spark. I am just like a small spark in front of a great fire. I wanted to see my own powers. That's why I tried to test you. And he says, actually, my bad conduct is worthy of punishment, but my foolishness is worthy of forgiveness. So therefore, in the next verse, he says, please kindly forgive me. See my foolishness and forgive me. Don't punish me. Please forgive me for my punishment, for my impudence. And he says, Krishna may say that, oh, you are the creator of the universe. Brahma says, I am the creator of one universe. I am myself measuring only 7 spans. And I am enclosed in this pot-like universe. You are the creator of entire universes. All the unlimited universes, they are coming from your skin pores. Universes, they come from your skin pores, just like the dust particles. When you must have experienced when there is a ray of sun comes in the room through a window, you can see lots of dust particles, unlimited dust particles. So Brahma says, and there are as many universes, they are coming from the skin pores. Who am I? And then Brahma says, actually, you are, Garbhodaksha Vishnu. Is there anything outside you? Everything is inside you only. You are the supreme creator. Mother, she does not take the offense when the child in the womb kicks her with the leg. So I am in your womb only. Everything is in your belly, in your abdomen. So therefore, please forgive my impudence. And I have come out of that belly, you know. So certainly, these words are not false. Some Krishna may say, okay, yes, you are son of Narayan, but who am I? You are, I know you are son of Narayan, but Krishna may ask, who am I? So he says, Narayanastam nahi sarvadehinam. He says, are you not the original Narayan? You are the supreme Narayan from whom all the universes are coming. You are the supreme controller. From you, actually, Narayan is your expansion, he says. And therefore, whatever you are showing, it is real. And therefore, please forgive me for my impudence. And then Krishna may say, can spiritual form arise from the material water? You are telling Garbhodaksha Vishnu is spiritual and from whom all this material world is coming. So Brahmaji says, yes, if your body stays in water, you know, then why are you not seen by me when I was searching you? Because your body is not material. Your body is spiritual. You can do anything. You have inconceivable potency. And therefore, you have shown in this pastime that how you, all the universe is in your abdomen. He showed it to Mother Yashoda that all the universes was there in his abdomen. And then ultimately, Brahma, he summarizes Brahma Vimohan Leela. He says, I saw all these wonderful manifestations. You were alone, and then you manifested, you became calves and boys, and then you manifested into Vishnu Murtis, and then you are again appearing as alone, one small cowherd boy. This is all your Maya. And therefore, he says, ignorant people, they think that you are a part of material world, but you are not part of material world. You are the supreme controller. You are the same Lord Vishnu who has appeared. And therefore he says, you take incarnation in this world just to serve your devotees. You take incarnation to destroy the demoniac powers. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirabhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya yada yada hi dharmasya glanirabhavati bharata. And then he says, paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So he starts describing, glorifying the Lord. He continues to glorify the Lord. He says, oh my Lord, you are the supreme soul. And you are performing so many pastimes continuously. All these universes, they are coming from you. So he is glorifying this, Garbhodakshai form of the Lord. Because Supreme Lord Narayan is his worshipable deity. He says this form, this world appears real because it is coming from you. And after this, he describes, only by your mercy, O my Lord, one can understand you. Athapi te deva padambujadvaya prasadalesha nugrihita eva hi janati tattvam bhagavan mahimno nachanya ekopi chiram vichanvan. Athapi te deva padambujadvaya, O my Lord, those who take shelter of your lotus feet, they can understand you, otherwise nobody else can understand. Prasada leshanugrihita evahi. Only by a drop of your mercy somebody can understand you. Otherwise, great sages, they are trying to see your lotus feet since many, many births. Still they are not able to see. And therefore, after this, Brahma, he expresses his desire. He says, "Oh my Lord, I have one desire. I want to become the, one of the residents, one of your devotees, wherever, in whichever species, but I want to stay in Vrindavan. तदस्तु मे नाथ सबूरि भागो भवेत्र वान्यत्र तु वातिरश्चाम येनाहमेकोऽपि भवज्जनानां भूत्वा निषेवे तव पाद पल्लवम्." Oh my Lord, I have one desire. I pray to become fortunate. What is my fortune? Bhave atra or anyatra, either in this life or in the next life, wherever I take my birth. Yenahamekopi bhavajjananam. I want to take birth as one of your devotees. In whatever species, chalega, any species will do. Bhutva nisheve tava pada pallavam. I want to engage in your devotional service. Why in Vrindavan? He glorifies the supreme, most fortunate position of Brajvasis. Ahoti dhanya brajgoramanya stanyamritam pitamateva te muda तासां विभो वत्सतरात्मजात्मना न तृप्तेद्यापि अचालमध्वरा अहोति धन्या brajgoramanya. How fortunate are the cows and the cowherd ladies of Vrindavan. Stanyamritam. Krishna was drinking their milk and it was creating such a joy for them. You are happily drinking that milk with all satisfaction and taking the form of the calves and the cowherd boys. You have given such wonderful satisfaction to all the Brajvasis. It is unparalleled. What is the fortune of these Brajvasis? Aho bhagyam nanda gopa brajaukasam yanmitram paramanandam purnam brahma sanatanam. Aho bhagya, how greatly fortunate is our Nand Maharaj, Yashoda Mai, and all the inhabitants of Braja. That supreme Parabrahma, Yanmitram Paramanandam, that Param Brahma is the friend of all these Brajvasis. It is so very fortunate. And then Brahmaji says, actually, we are also fortunate. Because we, 11 sense devatas, we got a chance to experience these wonderful pastimes through the Brajvasis. Because all the sense devatas, they are witnessing the pastimes of Krishna through the senses of Brajvasis. So therefore he says, we are also very, very fortunate. And then he says, oh my Lord, I have one more desire. He says, I have given up my control over the universe. I don't want to be called as the creator. I have given up the quest for my liberation also. I have only one desire. I want to get the dust of the feet of your devotees. Tadabhuri bhagyamiha janma kimapi atavyam yad gokulepi katamangrirajobhishekam. I want the dust of the lotus feet of your devotees. Bhuri bhagya, that will be my greatest fortune. Iha janma. If I have to take another birth, wherever I want to take birth in Gokul as a grass. The same prayer was spoken by Uddhava also. He wanted to become Gulmlata. Yajjivitam tu nikhilam Bhagavan Mukunda. What is so glorious about Brajvasis? Why I want to get the dust of Brajvasis? Because they have accepted you as their life and soul. In fact, Chakravarti Thakur writes that Brahmaji is telling, if I don't get a chance to have a birth as a grass, I am ready to become a stone also. But I want the dust of your devotees, lotus feet. And that's why in Barsana, the four hills, they are the four heads of Brahma. He is getting the dust of the feet of the Brajvasis since then on. That is the supreme position of Brajvasis. And then he says, "Oh my Lord, I am not able to understand the fortune of Brajvasis, the fortune of the gopis." In fact, he says, "Are what is remaining for you to give to Brajvasis and the gopis? You delivered Putana and her entire family who came to kill you, and you delivered all of them. What is remaining? Sadvesha divaputana pisakula tvameva deva pita yadhamartha surit priya atmatanaya pranaya shayashvatvat krite." Are you gave everything to Putana and all his family, Bakasur, Aghasur. What is remaining for you to give to these Brajvasis? They gave their Artha, Suhrit, Priya. They gave their home, friends, well-wishers, relatives, bodies, children, everything they gave for you. इनको क्या देंगे आप लोग? आप, that is what Brahmaji is thinking. So that is the supreme most position of gopis and Brajvasis. Chakravarti Thakur writes that there is a discussion going on between Krishna and Brahma. Krishna is saying, "Oh Brahma, you are so very knowledgeable. You cannot understand this answer." Brahma says, "Our mind is getting bewildered. You gave everything to Putana and Bakasur, Agasur. What will you give to Brajvasis and Gopis and the Gopas?" Krishna says, "You are really ignorant of truth. You know, all these Brajvasis, they have spontaneous affection for me. And therefore I have already told them that you please be satisfied with your service. I cannot give anything more than this." Brahmaji says, "This is not fair. No, this is highly improper. How can you do this? You know, you are just telling them to be satisfied with their service. Now, you know what you should do? You should accept your indebtedness. That is your atonement." And that's what Krishna says in the Ras Leela after Naparayeham. I am indebted. That's what Brahmaji is telling here. And then Krishna may say, "Are you are telling that Brajvasis, they are so great, but sannyasis, they will object. And how can these Brajvasis be great? They have their family, they have their children. How can they be great?" Brahmaji says, "Are what to speak of these householders of Braja? Any person, even if he is a normal, ordinary devotee, he is higher than sannyasi. तावद्रागादयस्तेन यावत्कार गृहं गृहं तावन्मोहङ्ग्रे निगडो यावन् कृष्णनते जनाः." He says, for a materialistic life, for a materialistic person who has not put Krishna in the center, Krishna nate jana, if somebody is not Krishna conscious, for him, all his material affection, all his attachments and desires, they are like the thieves. His home is like a prison house. His griha is like a karagriha. And his affectionate feelings for his children and the relatives, they are like the shackles. So therefore, a person, if he's not keeping Krishna in the center of his house, he is in a prison with the shackles of affection. And then he says, "Oh my Lord, actually, you have nothing to do with this material existence. But still, you appear in this world. Why? Just to give pleasure to your devotees. Prapancham nishprapanchopi vidambayasi bhutale prapanna janatananda sandoham prathitam prabho." You appear in this world just to give pleasure to your devotees, your surrendered devotees. Somebody may say, "I know Krishna, I know everything about Krishna," but as far as I am concerned, oh my Lord, I can tell you, I don't know anything. I have nothing to say about you, but still I will try to glorify you manaso vapusho vacho. Jananta eva jananto name bhahuktya kim bhahuktya name prabho manusho vapusho vacho vaibhavam tava gochara. Some people may say I know Krishna, but I don't know Krishna. That is humility of Brahmaji. So therefore what I'll do? I will just glorify you with my mind, body and words. Your opulences are beyond my reach, beyond my mind, beyond my words, beyond my senses. And therefore, oh my dear Krishna, after glorifying such wonderful prayers, Krishna, small child, he's not even looking at Brahmaji. So after Brahma, he spoke all these wonderful 38 prayers, 38 verses, very powerful, very enlightening. After that, he says, oh my dear Krishna, now please, I humbly request you to give me permission to leave. You are the Lord of all the devotees. So therefore, I don't have anything to offer. I offer you this universe. And then Brahma, he does Nam Sankirtan. He chants the various names of the Lord. And then Brahma, he circumambulated the Lord 3 times, offered his obeisances, and he left. Chakravarti Thakur writes that actually, after granting, so when Brahma, he asked permission to leave, what did Krishna do? Krishna, he was just silent. He did not even say a word. So Shukdev Goswami says, after granting permission to Brahma to leave, Krishna brought all the cowherd boys to the bank of the river, and there they took their meal, and they enjoyed the beauty of the forest. So it is very, very interesting that Krishna did not speak a word. He was silent. What was he thinking? Krishna was thinking, where did this four-headed Brahma has come? कहाँ से आ गया है? Why has he come? I am busy looking for my friends, and he is coming and offering some prayers which I don't understand. So that was, Krishna's thinking. Actually, Krishna, he wanted to humble Brahma, because Krishna was not so happy. Because Krishna has separated, Brahma has separated all the cowherd boys for 1 year. He had separated. So therefore, he completely neglected. And then Brahma, he accepted, he indicated by his silence, now you can leave. So Brahmaji left. After this, all these cowherd boys, they had passed almost 1 year. The entire year had passed. But when Krishna, he reached, he found all these cowherd boys and the calves at the same place. Yogmaya brought them again. And they thought, oh, half a moment has passed. So they said, oh, Krishna, you have come so early. You have come so fast, We have not even eaten one morsel and you have come back. So nice. Come now. We'll eat together. So Krishna, he took lunch with all his cowherd boys and then he returned home. While returning back, Krishna showed the cowherd boys the skin of Aghasur. And then Shukdev Goswami describes the beauty of Krishna when he returned. Baraha prasoon vanadhatu vichitritangai Prodama venudala shringaravotsamadhyai Vatsan grinan anugagit pavitra kirti Gopi drigutsavadrisha pravivesha goshtham. So when Krishna he entered, he was decorated with the forest flowers, fruits, minerals, and peacock feather. He had a bugle horn, flute, and cowherd stick vetra. Very loudly he was playing his flute. And all the cowherd boys and the calves, they were jumping. He was calling the calves by his name. As he was coming, he was calling the calves by his name. And in this way, and cowherd boys, they were glorifying the wonderful activities of Krishna, and by that activity, by that glorification, they were purifying the world. And the gopis, and they saw the most beautiful form of Krishna, That was the festival. Nityotsavam natatripo dribhi pribantyo naryo narascha mudita kupita nimescha. In this world, everybody wants to see something beautiful. But the beauty of this world does not satisfy the mind. But the beauty of Krishna satisfies the mind and heart. Therefore, looking at the beautiful form of Krishna is Nitya Utsava. Nitya Utsava means constant festival. And then Parikshit Maharaj, when he heard this, he inquired, Brahman parod bhave Krishne, iyan prema katham bhavet? How could these cowherd women develop such love for Krishna? They loved Krishna even more than own children. How is this possible? How can somebody love other's child more than his own child? Shukadeva Goswami describes that actually for an embodied being, his body is the dearmost. For a person, for a living being, embodied being, he loves his body more than his own children, his family, everything. Whatever is dear, most dear is the body. People in this world, they may do some sacrifice. They may do some philanthropy, nationalistic activities, altruism, and they may look like very, selfless people. But that is their extended sense gratification. This is my land. This is my family. This is my country. This my is very, very prominent. The false ego, just pushes them to do all these things. They derive great, Prabhupada writes, the translation, the purport describes. They derive great egoistic pleasure by seeing themselves as a well-wisher, selfless well-wisher. I am such a selfless person. He says, the embodied soul, Shukadeva Goswami continues, embodied soul, he is so very self-centered that he is attached more to his body than to his possessions, his children, wife, wealth, home. Body is the most dear. And therefore everything, whatever is related to the body, that is becomes dear. Dehopi mamata bhak chet. Mamata bhak. What is this mamata? Mamata means the feeling of mine. I and mine. So till the time people, they think I am this body, they are more attached to this body. But an intelligent person, he understands that I am not this body, this is my body, I am in this body. So therefore, a foolish, ignorant person, whatever he does in this world, he does for the satisfaction of his own self. But O Parikshit Maharaj, you should know that Krishna is the original soul of all the living entities. That's what Prabhupada would say many times. The only thing which is missing in this world is Krishna consciousness. If we bring Krishna in the center of our lives, if we understand that if we keep Krishna in the center, then things will be all right. People will live in harmony. They will live by the principle of Isha Vasyam. But people, they are so very attached to their body. They are thinking, I am this body. But when Brajvasis, they knew Krishna is a supreme well-wisher. They had given everything for Krishna. They understood Krishna is a supreme object of affection, not myself, not my body. So therefore, they were loving Krishna more. And then Shukadeva Goswami says, you know what is the wonderful nature of the devotional service? What is the wonderful nature of Krishna? Samashritaye padapallavaplavam mahatpadam punya yasho murare bhavambudirvats padam param padam 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 yad vipadam natesham. Samashritaye padapallavaplavam. The lotus feet of the Lord, they are very, very suitable boat. And these lotus feet, Mahat Padam Punya Yasho Murare, they are supremely merciful, most auspicious. For a person who accepts this lotus feet of the Lord, for him this entire material existence, which is like a bhavasagar, it becomes Vatsa Padam Param Padam. It becomes like a water which is contained in the hoof prints of a calf. In this world, there is danger at every step. But a person who takes shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, he can very easily cross this ocean of material existence. Krishna's lotus feet is described as Pallava Plavam. Pallava means flower buds. Because the lotus feet of Krishna is very soft and has a pinkish hue. That's why he's described as Pallava Plavam. So then after describing all this, Shukdev Goswami says, "O Parikshit, since you inquired from me, I have described everything, all the pastimes of the Lord which he performed at the age of 5 and why they were not revealed when for 1 year." And then Shukdev Goswami gives the falastuti of hearing this Brahma Vimohan Leela. He says, anyone who hears the killing of Aghasur and the prayers which are offered by Brahma, he is sure to achieve spiritual qualities. All his desires will be fulfilled. All his spiritual desires will be fulfilled. एवं विहारै कौमारै कौमारजं जहातुर्व्रजे नीलायन्तै सेतुबन्धै मर्कटोप्लवनादिभिः. And then Shukdev Goswami says, in this way, Krishna, he performed all his wonderful childhood pastimes in Vrindavan. Sometimes he would play flute, he would play hide and seek, he would make a bridge, sometimes he would jump like monkeys, and he would play so many of the other games. In this way, Krishna was giving pleasure to all the Brajvasis. So that is the end of this chapter. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Anybody has any questions? You can please ask. Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.